Hello everyone, my name is Caden, and welcome back to more, if it'll show on the screen, please. Chaos Child! Last time, hanging out with Harimura, but, things are starting to get strange again, so let's see what ends up happening. October 26th, 2015, Monday. Hey, did you hear? I did. It's a girl from Class C, right? I was in her class as in my first year, and the whole school was talking about a new incident that had taken place. As you all know, there's been a new incident. And the victim was a second-year student at Hagio Academy. It was a girl from our school. Because of that, we had an emergency assembly this morning. The school staff was busy dealing with the second big incident after the Watabe case, and most classes were study halls. They should have just made it a half day, but since the media were outside, they kept us until the full day was over. It was only after school that we were able to have our meeting. Here's what we knew about the case. According to the police announcement, the murder took place sometime after 11 p.m. last night. Oh boy, we have a murder. Shibuya was always pretty busy, even at that hour, but the area where the murder took place was isolated, and at times could be almost empty. The cause of death was blood loss. The victim had been stabbed multiple times with a sharp blade, and the area around her was said to be a sea of blood. What's your take on this? Like always, Ito was the first to answer. You mean, do we think it's part of the return to New Gen murders? That and any other thoughts you have. If you're asking whether it's related, it clearly isn't.
Why do you think so?
Because it's a wrong day, for one thing. The method is too ordinary. It's not bizarre at all. Kazuki was actually involved in the conversation for once. She nodded in agreement, but Kurusu shook her head. What are you talking about? Stabbing someone multiple times with a knife is plenty bizarre. No, that's true. But I mean more, what were they were going for with it? Like, the whole atmosphere of the thing. Basically, there's nothing that weird about it.
True. It's a lot different than eating your own hand or cutting open your stomach and putting a speaker inside.
Right, so I don't think it has anything to do with it. Evidently, everyone agreed with Ito's opinion. Michiro, what do you think? I feel the same way you do. Unfortunately, it's probably not related to the other murders. Crew's about to get Hey, Takara, what do you mean by unfortunately? Crap, I accidentally said what I was thinking. Listen to me, if someone tried to kill you, you might have ended up just like those victims whose deaths you're enjoying oh so much. Do you understand that? I do. Here we go again. And what's more, the victim this time was a student at our school. A fellow student is dead. This isn't the time to try and entertain yourself. You don't have to keep telling me this, I get it. Why is Kurusu here at the newspaper club when a student from our school is dead anyway? Our job right now is to write an article telling all the students at the school to be careful. That's what the teachers asked the newspaper club to do. That's why we're having this meeting. Don't forget that. I know that. And Student Council President Kurusu-san, please come to the Student Council room immediately. I repeat. Oh wait, this is Kawahara. Student Council President Kurusu-san, please come to the Student Council room immediately. I repeat, Student Council President Kurusu-san. See, they're calling you. Alright, I'll be back later. Don't forget what I said, though. I forgot what you said. Kurusu nagged me one more time before she ran out of the room.
It was nice of Non-chan to come by when she's so busy, huh?
It just shows how little she trusts her. Wait, or maybe it shows how much she trusts her. Which is it? Doesn't matter. Let's get back on topic. Thanks to Kurusu's interruptions, I forgot how much we've already covered. Right. The victim was a second-year student here, Harimura Inoue. Did I already know her? Hey, Harimura.
I talked to her a few times the first year. She didn't come to school a lot. I didn't really know her. The kids in class said she skipped school to go mess around a lot.
Since the murder had taken place past 11 p.m., it wasn't hard to imagine.
But it's kind of scary. The place where it happened is near the route I used to go home from school.
It is.
Yeah. Remember where I got pushed downstairs? It's near there. So it's kind of creepy, you know?
Really? Were they trying to kill you then? Somebody had tried to push Arimura down the stairs. Given that I was near the scene of the murder, maybe it was just some sicko trying to kill little girls. Well, it's got nothing to do with the others. I'd say this, but it might have just been some girl out late who got stabbed by some pervert. Or maybe she got into a fight with a lover.
Huh? You're so late. She was in high school, right? If she had a lover's quarrel, that means that the boy and a girl and... Right?
I'm naive, are you? High school students can have lovers' quarrels.
Can they? Do they quarrel? Tell me, Taku.
Well, they're not kids anymore, so maybe they do.
I see. Do you have quarrels, Hancha?
Why are you asking her? What? She frantically denied it. Yeah, like that was ever gonna happen to Kazuki. Anyway, we're getting off track. Still, it's not pleasant hearing that someone from your school got murdered. Soon from my school. In that sense, the victim was the one who had been closest to us. Just what could that mean?
It's getting late.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, it's almost November. Is the Resurrection Festival next week?
Yeah. Even if this case and the last one had nothing to do with the other murders, I was starting to think that maybe that didn't mean that the return of New Gen was over. At first, I believed that Hidoriko was responsible for all of them. No, rather, I'd only been convinced of that because of the terror I'd felt after being attacked. But after I'd calmed down, it felt like there were things that I couldn't explain if she was doing this on her own. And there was that underground lab, too. If an organization big enough to make something like that lab was involved, Hidoriko might have just been the tip of the iceberg. Unfortunately, the police hadn't gotten any useful information out of her, so there was no way of knowing if she was connected to something bigger or not. Even if she was responsible, we didn't know why she'd commit her murders on the same day as the New Gen Madness. Was it some kind of message? Was it to make it more sensational? Either way, if there was something bigger behind her, we'd already been a target once. Maybe we couldn't relax just yet.
Come on.
Yeah. Suddenly somebody grabbed both my cheeks, bringing me back to my senses.
I've been talking to you for a while now and you haven't been listening.
What are you talking about?
We were talking about going to the festival together.
Oh, right, I see. Sure.
Please, it's a promise, okay?
She let go of my cheeks and then gently rubbed them. I felt kind of embarrassed.
Anyway, my house is that way.
Oh, do you want me to walk you home? There was that murder yesterday, after all. And there was also the thing with the stairs before that. Of course, I was a little scared too, but as a man, it was time to show off.
Nah, it's fine. I'll stick to the busy roads.
But... Suddenly Arimura leaned up and I felt something soft on my cheek. By the time I realized it was her lips, she had already pulled away.
Adios, gracias.
What? Oh. Before I could say something, she'd smiled, said her goodbye, and vanished into the crowd. What? I was suddenly overcome by the idea that she was going to vanish forever. I drove the unpleasant thought from my head and headed for home, feeling just a little excited. I could still feel a soft warmth on my cheek. October 26th, 2015, Monday. Just like she'd promised Takaru, Arimura Hinai stuck to the busy roads on her way back. She remembered Takaru's face when she'd said goodbye. He was probably scared himself, but he was holding it in and pretending to be brave. Anybody could see that he was just putting on an act. He was easy to figure out, and that made Hinai feel at peace. Everyone was hiding their true feelings, their truth deep within their heart. There was nothing true in this world at all. That's what she thought that day. Never tell a lie. Her brother had been the one who taught her that, but even he didn't tell her what it was really important. He didn't tell her the truth. So where was the truth? That was the question she'd been grappling with for the last 6 years. Big bro. A friend she'd made just recently had asked if she wanted to see her brother. Hinai almost never talked about herself, but she'd been talking about her family. And then her friend had asked her. She didn't know why, but the question had surprised her, and she nodded yes. She didn't hate her brother for lying to her. And even if she did, he was gone. Because on that day, she left him to die. So instead, she felt guilty toward him. If she ever had the chance to meet him again, she wished to apologize to him. The crosswalk sign turned red, and Hinai stopped walking. Even at night, Shibuya was crawling with people. With this many people around, she figured it wouldn't be easy for someone to attack her. As soon as the traffic light turned green, the car started to move. And then... Uh-oh. Stop! Someone pushed her hard, and she staggered out into the street. The headlights were bearing down on her before she even had time to think. When she finally opened her eyes, the car bumper was just a few centimeters away from her face. Hey, are you okay? What are you doing? That's dangerous. The people waiting for the light started to make a fuss. The sound of a dozen car horns echoed off the sides of the buildings, but Hinai didn't hear any of that. She was only looking at one thing. It was the place where she'd been standing a moment ago. Just before she'd almost been hit, she looked up and saw him. Oh, what in the... Big bro? You're supposed to be dead. It was her dead brother, Shingo. Is that who keeps pushing her? I looked at the clock and it was past 3 a.m. I started looking around to see if there was any new information on the case, and the next thing I knew, it was really late. But I didn't end up finding anything new, and as I read, I ended up focusing on something else. It was an article about how a company called SafeWorks that was involved with the Restoration Festival had put up security cameras all over town, and was then subject to a lawsuit. The situation had gotten pretty complicated, and by the time I'd finished reading it, it was really late. Time for bed, I guess. It wasn't true that caffeine stopped you from getting sleepy. I always drink caffeine before bed, yet I was always able to sleep easily. But when I opened my fridge to get my late-night Mountain View, I realized I had a big problem. Empty. I had forgotten that I drank my last bottle the day before. Fine, I guess I'll have to just do without. Or so I thought, but... Once you found out that you couldn't drink something you wanted to drink, it became an obsession. That's just human nature. Caffeine was addictive. Maybe I was undergoing withdrawal. But the convenience store I'd have to go to in order to get the Mountain View was a bit of a walk from here. Damn it. In the end, however, I couldn't defeat my own desires. I went out into the city late at night to get my Mountain View. Thank you very much! After I succeeded in purchasing several bottles of Mountain View, I took one and opened it as I stood outside the sidewalk. My body felt like it had been purified. Just as I thought that now I'd be able to sleep, I suddenly remembered all the murders that had happened so far. I suddenly felt afraid of the situation I'd foolishly put myself in. I was in Shibuya, in the middle of the night, in a place that was almost empty at this hour. Suddenly fear gripped me and I started to run, only to trip on something. Evidently I had run into a trash can. What's it doing here? I don't remember there being a trash can here. I felt a dull pain where my body had hit the ground. I hadn't been holding the ball tightly, so the cap on my Mountain View had fallen off and the ball was leaking. Damn it! I sat up and stretched out my hand to grab the ball, only to touch something else. What was this? It wasn't a plastic bottle. It was softer. Like clay. I slowly raised my head to look. That's a dead person. What I saw made me gasp. It wasn't a trash can. It was a laundry basket with wheels. At first, I thought the thing that fell out from inside was a mannequin or something. It was strangely cold and a little black. But the soft feeling against my skin and the way its eyes were open told me that this was no mannequin. It was... a dead body.
So in this case, Point Pete. Hey, you know what time? Oh, Mishiro, sit down. Hey, Mishiro.
I know again. Isn't that crazy? Even it's just a coincidence.
Alright, I'm continuing with the lesson.
Taku, I heard.
Hey, tell me, what happened yesterday? After I found the body in the alleyway this morning, I called the police. By the time they were done questioning me, it was almost lunchtime. I hadn't gotten even a wink of sleep thanks to that. But I was feeling so tense that it didn't matter. The whole school had heard about how I'd found a body, and I could hear people talking about it as I passed them. I could understand why. This was the third body I'd been the first person to discover. I might have been the only person in the whole wide world to discover 3 bodies in just over a month. At this point, the police were less surprised than they were annoyed.
So
we're clear, I wasn't out looking for it. Kurusu had come to see me too, along with Ito and Serika. I made sure she understood the real story. I know that, but why does it keep happening to you?
Really, it's like dead bodies just love you.
Ito-kun, remember what I said? It's inappropriate to say things like that when someone has just died.
Sorry.
But now you're famous, Taku.
I didn't actually do anything. That's right, and nothing good will come of becoming famous like this.
Well, that's true, but...
So, who's the victim?
They don't know yet, supposedly. The police had said there was nothing on the body that could help them ID it. All they knew was that it was a man in his mid-40s.
I see, which means it's got nothing to do with the others.
Maybe. This case was the one most similar to the return of the New Gen Madness. But given the victim's age and the day of the murder, it was hard to say if it was related. It was too early to say for sure, though.
So, how was it?
How's what?
The body, man, from what I went online, they were brutally stabbed a bunch of times.
It was dark, so I couldn't say for sure. But when I touched it, the body felt like it had been dead for a while.
You touched it, Taku?
I just happened to when I tripped.
Seriously? So, what did it feel like?
Like rubber. It was firmer and more elastic than I thought it would be. Come on, Yusuke, enough. I don't want to hear that. If you don't want to hear it, you can just go somewhere else, right? Well, or maybe you actually do want to know. Of course not. I kept talking with Kurusu for a moment before someone came over from the door. Aimura.
Yashiro-senpai?
Aimura looked really tired. What brings you here? Did you come to ask about the murder too?
The murder? Oh, you don't know Hichan? Taku found our body.
Huh? From the look of things, she really didn't know. Given how many friends she had, that was a little surprising. From the way the rest of the school had been talking about it, she should have at least heard something. Aimura-san, what's wrong? You seem kind of down.
Well...
Is it something you don't want to talk to us about?
No, that's not it.
Then what happened? Aimura still seemed like she didn't want to talk, but eventually she slowly began to speak.
Actually, someone attacked me yesterday.
Attacked you?
Seriously?
You mean they tried to kill you?
Are you alright? Everyone started to ask questions. Was it after we said goodbye yesterday?
That's right. It was right after, at the Scramble Crossing. In a place with that many people around?
Crosswalk sign turned red, and then I suddenly felt someone push me from behind. From behind? That was the same as what that happened before. Which meant that it wasn't her imagination. Someone had really pushed her. Were you hurt? I was almost run over, but I was alright. The only injury I got was a little scrape. Did you tell the police? Not yet. Why? Why didn't you tell them? Because... She fell silent, as if it was hard to say. Someone had pushed her out into the street and in a busy intersection. She was lucky to survive. She could have easily been killed. And since it had happened twice now, it was obviously an attempt on her life. But she hadn't gone to the police. Was there something she couldn't tell them about? Anyway, you should tell the police. I'll go with you if you want. Oh, no! Arimura-san. Well, actually... Before she could say something, the door of the classroom opened. Oh, hey. It's been a while. It was Detective Shinjo. The whole classroom started to murmur at the sight of a strange man. Please come down. I'm no one suspicious. He looked around the classroom until he found us and then walked straight over. So, here you are. Was there something else? No, I'm not here from Yoshiro-kun. I'm here for you. Can you come with us? Shinjo-san was looking in the direction of... me? Arimura? You didn't need to come to me, Yoshiro-kun. Shinjo-san said as soon as we entered the room. But that was what Arimura had wanted. She wanted me to be with her when she went with the police. Are you two... No, never mind. It doesn't matter now. Shinjo-san seemed like he wanted to say something when he saw the two of us, but now wasn't the time. Well, whatever you can say. Since you were the first to find the body, you'll hear about it eventually. I'll make this quick. Arimura Hinai-san, I want you to come to the police station immediately.
The police station?
That's right.
Why?
I want you to calm down before I tell you this. Are you going to say she's the one who's being suspected of murder? You're aware that a body was found this morning in Shibuya back alley, correct?
Yes, Miyashiro-senpai said...
That's right, the one he found. We identified the body. Can't be. The victim was Arimura Koichiro, your father. Okay. Shinjo-san took Arimura to the police station. She didn't come back. I waited for her to get in touch with me, but not only did I not get a call, I didn't even get a text message. Of course, her father was dead, and he'd been horribly murdered. I could understand why. Not to mention... I had no idea that the body was Arimura's father. Of course, I had no way of knowing. So even if I couldn't help it, I still felt ashamed of having been so excited. I'm sorry, Arimura. Forgive me, I didn't know. Arimura's dad was dead. I never met him, but he was the closest I've been to any of the murder victims. And yesterday was the same day Arimura said she'd been attacked. What was going on? Was she the next target? If so, then who would... I remember what Arimura had said this afternoon as she left the room with Shinjo-san. Anyway, that's how it is. I'm sure it's not easy, but I need to ask you some questions. And I'd like you to ID the body for me too. If you can you do that?
Yes.
Alright, I have a car stopped out front. Please, come with me. Arimura! There. Huh? It was my brother who did it. Arimura? Why is this brother going around killing my brother? I'd heard her say it clearly. Her brother was the killer. What does she mean? I'd heard that her brother died during the Shibuya earthquake. Or did she mean another brother? Or maybe he was actually alive the whole time. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. Eventually, I just fell into a restless sleep. 4 days had passed since Arimura's father was murdered. There had been no new developments in the case. All we learned was that he'd been killed somewhere else, and then his body had been dumped there. Shinjo-san wouldn't tell me any more than that, and neither would Kunosato-san. Arimura hadn't been back to school since then. I tried to contact her several times, but she never responded. Her father was dead. It was easy to assume that she must be depressed. Still, the words she said to me... It's my brother who did it. I couldn't get them out of my mind. What on earth was she talking about? For the last 4 days, I'd been feeling kind of weird. Aimura had said that she was attacked by someone at Scramble Crossing. And that was the same night I'd found her father's corpse. Several other things had happened too. Aimura had almost been pushed down the stairs. And a second-year student at Hekiho had been killed. Why were they killed? Like, who was the student? The student's name was Ishida Moe. She hadn't come to school often and was something of a problem child. From the photo I'd seen, she was a young girl with huge twin tails. Why had she been killed? And what did it have to do with the return of New Gen Madness? There was also that headless body that had been burned to death. They still didn't know who it belonged to. I didn't know if it had anything to do with the other murders, but it still felt like something awful was creeping up on us. I looked at my phone. Still no word from Arimura. Maybe I'll call her again. I started to pull her number out of my call history. But then there was a loud knock at the door. What's going on? It's almost 11 at night. Who could be coming here at this hour? Is it my turn next? No. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Shit. There has to be some way for me to fight back. Right. My power. I have my power. It's no good. Damn it. She told me not to use it, and so I didn't. But if I knew this was going to happen, I would have practiced using it more. The knocking at the door grew even louder. Please! Then I heard a voice. Please! Huh? That voice. Arimura! I quickly went to the door and looked outside, and I saw Arimura frantically pounding on the door with tears in her eyes. I quickly opened it and let her in. Yo, you good? How are you here?
Senpai.
Something was wrong with her. She clung to me as she shook violently. What's wrong, Arimura?
He's chasing me.
Chasing you? You mean you were attacked again? She nodded over and over. But then, who in the world?
My brother.
It really was your brother.
It was. I'm sure of it.
After I'd given her something to drink to calm her down and heard what she had to say, she told me that she knew for a fact it was him. Her family's condo had been destroyed in the Shibuya earthquake, so now they lived in Kanagawa. Her father's autopsy had only been completed yesterday, and then she'd gone back there. The funeral was today, and afterwards she'd come back to Shibuya with her aunt and uncle. The police had asked her to come back down to the station one more time, where they questioned her about her father's relationships. On the way back home, she'd felt someone's gaze following her. And when she'd gotten near a construction site, some of the building materials had gone loose and fallen down on top of her. She'd been watching her surroundings carefully after all that had happened, and just barely saw them in time to get out of the way. But when she looked up, she'd seen him. It was her brother, Arimura Shingo.
That's right. I'm sure he's the one who killed Dad too.
But he died, right? In the earthquake. That's what she told me.
He's alive. He's alive and trying to get revenge.
Something's not right here. I don't think Shingo would want to get revenge. That doesn't really make sense to me. Because, for all the lies that he told, sure, Shingo never once hated Arimura, though. From the memories we've seen, Shingo never once hated Arimura. Or, Shingo never hated Hinae. Sorry. And what's even more interesting to me, the further proof I would say that Shingo really did care about Hinae was when Hinai got her powers, she was able to tell one truth and one lie from Shingo before she left him behind. I can't remember precisely what the lie was. No, the lie was like that everything he was saying was the truth. Like, that was the first time she'd ever had her power activated. She could tell that everything she'd just been told about them not being real siblings was true. But the thing he said after that was also true, being that she needed to live. She could sense that that was true as well. If that wasn't true, then don't you think she would have noticed? Like, surely something would have triggered her power to say, like, oh no, he doesn't want you to leave, he wants you to die with him or something. So why is it that she sees her brother? Is it actually Shingo and there's just something more to the story that we haven't learned? Or is it somebody who's using those memories? I didn't consider that. Memories, huh? Mind reading. So, there's also the problem right now of how Onoe and, oh my god, I forgot his name. Is it in the option screen by any chance? No? Whoever, friggin' Kurusu and Takeru's adopted father is, their plan is screwed. Because the new gen it's no longer following the new gen madness. So, what if it's trying to go a different way? What if, now that they can't go the way of the new gen madness killings, they're doing something different instead? Which is instead going after somebody who, in this ending, Takeru has gotten closer to, which is Hinai. That's the only thing I can think of, that maybe it's Onoe and Takeru's father using their mind control and mind reading powers to learn of all this information, and then use it as a way to continue to do what they're trying to do with, like, Onoe trying to, whatchamacallit, make Takeru special, and then the father wanting to experiment. Revenge. Why would you want revenge on you?
Because it was my fault that he died.
Aimura then told me that she had been outside during the earthquake. Her brother hadn't realized that she was gone, and he'd entered the condo building to save her, only to die when it collapsed. It was clear to her that Arimura blamed herself for that. But that doesn't make sense. What do you mean? If that was true, then why would he kill your dad?
Because Dad betrayed his family.
Arimura didn't tell me how he'd betray his family, so I didn't know what had happened. But that didn't change the fact that what she was saying didn't make any sense. Even if he is alive, why does he want to get revenge on you?
That's...
See, if he survived, he doesn't need revenge. And you said he really loved you, right? So why would he start hating you?
I saw him. That was my brother. Bro. Why?
No matter how much I tried to persuade her otherwise, Arimura kept insisting that what she'd seen was her brother. Was it really him that she saw? Even if it was someone who looked just like her brother, that still didn't explain why they were attacking her. Let alone why they'd kill her father. Oh, that's right. I need to apologize to you.
Apologize? For what?
I didn't know that was your dad, but I still got so...
Oh.
So, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It doesn't bother me.
I felt like she wasn't just trying to make me feel better. She really meant it.
And what's more, I don't really know if I'm sad that he died or not.
Aimura.
So strange. I just don't know. Dad lied to us for years. I don't think I ever forgave him for that. So part of me thinks that he got what he deserved.
Even so, I don't think he had to die like that. Since she didn't tell me, I had no way of knowing what lie her father had told. But I could imagine that whatever it was, it left a big impression on her. If nothing else, it was enough to affect her power as a gigalomaniac. I went outside and stretched, and I could feel all the bones in my body popping. It was still just past 8 a.m. Even at this hour, I could hear people playing basketball at the nearby court. Arimura had ended up sleeping in my bed. After all that had happened, she was mentally exhausted. Even for me, it didn't feel right to wake her up and send her home. And she'd just been through such a scare. That's why I decided to let her sleep there. That's also why I ended up trying to sleep on the tiny hard floor and mostly failed at it. I decided to go wash my face at the nearby fountain when my phone in my pocket began to vibrate. Phone call? It was from Kunosato-san. Why are you calling this early? Did you learn something? That's right, we're grading. I would have reacted the same way to anybody else calling at this hour. I was planning to tell you the police's take on the recent murder since Shinjo had given it to me, but if you don't need it, never mind. No, wait, I didn't say I didn't need it! I could tell that she wasn't joking. She really was about to hang up the phone. I quickly tried to stop her. Please tell me what you've learned, please. Fine then, let's start with the murderess modeled after the new Gen case. She meant the first four murders up until Watabe's death. They seem to think there are several things that can't be explained if it was just Haruka acting on her own. In other words, she had someone working with her? Or perhaps she was only responsible for the arson cases and had nothing to do with the murders. If that was true, it would mean that there are multiple people involved and the real killer still hadn't been caught. Or maybe whatever organization had built that lab in the basement was responsible. Which meant that Arimura and I still weren't safe. That made sense, considering that Arimura had already said she'd been attacked. However... Also, you should know that you two are suspects. Huh? You don't mean me and Arimura, do you? Didn't you hear me? I said you two. Who else would it be? Why would they suspect us? Kakita, Watabe, and now this third case. The police are thinking it's too much to be a coincidence. But I thought we were considered suspect for the murders that had happened so far. For those murders, yes, but the other ones are different matter. You know the victim from the other day? The second-year student from Hekiho? Ishide Moe? I heard she didn't come to school often. That's right. The girl was supposedly a big fan of Arimura Hinai. Of Arimura? According to Kunosawa-san, who was getting her information from Shinjo-san, of course, Ishida Moe had been a very quiet student in a middle school who didn't really stand out. At school, she would mostly sit in the corner and read books. Arimura's name had shown up in her diary. Arimura was always cheerful and friends with everybody. Arimura had spoken to Moe too. And that evidently made her very happy. After that, Moe decided that she wanted to be like Arimura. She copied Arimura's hairstyle and started going downtown, where eventually she fell in with the bad crowd and stopped coming to school. But that's not Arimura's fault! A detective's job is to look for connections, no matter how small they might be. And part of the reason is due to Arimura's actions as well. Arimura's actions? During questioning yesterday, she said that her brother was alive and trying to kill her. She told me the same thing. They seem to think there's evidence of mental instability, and that may have some bearing on the case. Of course she is. After all that's happened, of course she's gonna feel on edge. Several of the victims had already been relayed to her. Of course the police had noticed that too. So, what's your take on Arimura Hinai? She looks like she's really stressed out. I see. Well, keep an eye on her. What's wrong? Are you really Kunosato-san? What do you mean? I mean, I can't believe the real Kunosato-san would honestly be worried about us. You're lucky we're on the phone, otherwise I would beat the shit out of you for saying that. Never mind, it really is Kunosato-san. Nice! Anyway, keep a close eye on Arimura Hinai's activities. There's no telling what someone will do when they panic. That was all Kunosato-san said before she hung up. Kakita Hironori, Ishida Moe, and Arimura's dad. In the sense that she was the first to find the body, there was also Watabe. It's true that too many of the victims related to Arimura. Maybe it's natural for the police to suspect her.
Senpai?
Oh. She must have woken up. Arimura smiled in relief and ran over to me.
You weren't there when I woke up, so I wondered where you went.
Arimura still didn't look great, but she seemed to have calmed down since yesterday.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep without realizing it.
No, it's fine. Just, what are you gonna do now?
I'm going home. My aunt and uncle are probably worried about me.
I see. I'll walk you part of the way then. And if she'd calmed down, I didn't feel safe sending her back alone. She must have felt the same way because she just nodded. Anyway, I hate Sundays. There are so many people around.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know? A while ago, Itzo... I tried to keep up as much meaningless small talk as I could while we head toward Arimura's house. Even with all the murders, it was still the weekend, and there was only a week to go until the festival. As such, the whole town was in a state of excitement. I was very grateful to have that atmosphere around to distract us. In fact, it was even helping Arimura gradually start to smile again.
Did Ito-senpai really do that?
Sometimes I don't really understand that guy.
Okay, senpai, I can go the rest of the way on my...
Suddenly Arimura froze.
Big bro.
Huh? I quickly spun around, but I didn't see anyone. Arimura.
No, big bro.
Calm down, Arimura. He's not there. I grabbed her by the shoulders and I could feel that she was shaking.
But he's right there.
She was pointing at a mannequin in the store window. There was nothing else there. Let's just go home. I'll walk you the rest of the way. November 2nd, 2015. Monday. The next day, Arimura came to school and...
Ciao, Sari, guys.
She was back to normal.
Maureen. Oh, good morning.
Hey! Hi.
I'm glad to see you guys getting along so well. You go quit the lit club and join the newspaper club. What are you talking about? You're basically a member already, right, Taku?
Yeah, she's right.
Really? Alright, maybe I will join. Wait, are you allowed to be in 2 clubs?
Of course, just follow the paperwork and it's fine.
I see.
Well, if you do join, that gives you an excuse to be with me and Shiro. What? We're not really...
Oh, come on, no blushing. No blushing.
Hey, you don't get to say that! I hadn't seen Arimura this chipper in a while. Sure, it felt a little forced, but it was still a good sign.
Alright, did you hear they're adding a chocolate bar to Hikariwa? Huh? A chocolate bar? You mean one where if you get a winning bar, you get another one? Wrong, that's Chocobots.
A chocolate bar is like a restaurant, right? Where you can eat in?
Yeah, that's it. Once it opens, we can all...
Oh, Jesus. And then she stopped. I had a bad feeling about this.
Hina-chan? No.
She froze. Oh, Jesus. Arimura! I quickly grabbed her before she could fall over. Hey, what's wrong? She passed out. Takaru, take her to the nurse's office immediately. Yeah. As I picked her up, I glanced in the direction she'd been looking. Wait, I'm sorry. I know it's supposed to be kind of serious, but the idea that the idea that Kawahara-kun that Hinai mistook Kawahara for her brother. And then just thinking about how that would look from Kawahara's perspective, it's hilarious to me. From Kawahara's perspective, this girl that he barely even knows just suddenly looked at him got scared, screamed, and then passed out. I'm sorry. That's really funny to me for some reason. It's just thinking about, it's like, what did I do? I just existed here. I didn't... What happened? Haruka was standing there. He'd happened to be passing by and was looking at us in surprise. There was no one else around. I'm sorry. It's just so funny to me. I literally did nothing and I'm just being attacked for it.
Taku, what'd they say about Hina-chan?
They said she's just a little tired. They're gonna let her rest for a while.
I see.
I knew what had happened. She'd seen him again. Maybe she'd mistaken Haruka for... What did I do? I was just existing, walking around. And suddenly, I have a girl passing out by seeing me out of fear. What did I do? I'm sorry, that's really funny to me for some reason. Tucker, something happened with Arimura-san. What do you mean?
She seemed to be acting a little strange. Yeah, I thought so too. She seemed to be forcing herself more than she usually does.
Seriously? I had no idea. Is it a good idea to tell them? Even Kazuki had stopped playing ESO2 and came over to me with a look of concern in her face. What is it, Kazuki? Are you worried too? Alright then. I told them all everything that had happened to Arimura over the past few days. That she had said her brother was still alive. That he was trying to get revenge on her.
Hey.
It was Serika who spoke first.
Is Hina-chan's brother really alive?
That's the million-dollar question. Technically speaking, I don't think it's impossible to assume maybe he could have somehow survived and they just never found his body. We never hear... I don't think we've ever heard about a funeral service regarding him. That being said, the oddities that we've experienced with Hinae, mistaking things as her brother, I think there's something more going on. I don't know if it's quite mind control, because that's the one thing that comes to my mind. It could technically speaking, it could be mind control. Mind control in the form of, like making Hinae see her brother so often. But I don't think it'd be impossible. At the very least, we don't have enough information, I think. I don't know. I don't think there's anything definitively saying that he's dead yet. Unless we haven't heard of, like, a memorial service, like a funeral, finding the body. We haven't heard any of those yet. We just hear that he's dead. But if we're going to go by that logic, Minamisawa Senri is also dead, and yet we don't know what's happened to her, and Kurusu still isn't explaining that whole situation. And no, I'm not mistaking Hidoriko for Minamisawa Senri. I'm just saying that we still don't have any 100% confirmation that Senri's even dead. All we know is Kurusu's convinced she's dead, but won't explain why. No, I heard he was sad. But she only thinks that he is, right? I don't know. But what I do know is that all these murders keep happening around her. Since there was no doubt they were homicides, that meant there had to be some murderer targeting her for some reason. I think that maybe we should look into her brother some more. But how do we do that? He died in an earthquake, right? That means... Of course. Go to the memorial. Can we find his name here? I went with Kurusu's suggestion and visited the earthquake memorial with Serika. The memorial bore the names of everyone who died in the earthquake. Is his name here too? I was worried about Arimura, but Kurusu said she'd take her home. It was probably safe to let her handle it.
Hello, Taku?
Wait a sec, I'm pretty sure his name was supposedly Arimura Shingo. Looking at the memorial, I was reminded of how many people had died during the earthquake. My parents, Serika's parents, even Kurusu and Yui's parents had all had their names here too. Arimura...
Oh!
Did you find it?
Yeah, it's right here.
Arimura Shingo. From the age when he died, it was safe to assume that this was him. So there is a confirmation that he's dead. In which case, why is it that Arimura is seeing him? Why is Hinai seeing him everywhere? The only thing that I have knowledge of at the moment that could potentially be the cause is mind control. I mean, technically speaking, it could be mental, like, instability, like the police said. But I feel like it'd be more... I feel like... I don't know. This... Considering the fact that she actually got physically pushed. I don't know. This didn't mean anything for sure. The damage from the Shibuya earthquake had been incredible. Some people had been declared dead without their bodies ever being found. And in some cases, those people had later been found committing crimes. So just to be sure...
Oh,
you're here already. Sorry to keep you waiting. Sorry for having you come out here so quickly. I contacted Shinjo-san and had him meet me here.
Yeah.
No, it's better for me to know as much as possible about the case, even if it's something small. Lately, I've been starting to think that Detective Shinjo-san might be a lot better at his job than he looked. Of course, maybe people like him never really fit in an organization and couldn't grow to their full potential. So, you want to ask about Arimura Hinai's brother, right? Yes. I'll make it quick. Her brother Shingo is dead. You sure? There's no doubt. He died when his family's condo building collapsed during the Shibuya earthquake. The body was identified by a family member. So we have 100% confirmation that Shingo's dead. So it's something else then. Somebody could be pretending... If somebody's pretending that to be her brother, then that means it's somebody who knows Arimura's past. And knows about, like, a lot about Arimura. Again, I don't know. It just seems like it'd be too much to know on a surface level. Like, I don't know.
Did Hina-chan, see his body?
Can't tell if she herself saw the body, but I can tell you for sure that he is dead. I see. So he wasn't just declared dead when they couldn't find his body then. He is 100% fully dead. I have a photo too. Want to take a look? I looked at it just in case, but I was surprised to find that he didn't really look like Arimura. I'd never seen him before.
So when Hina-chan says her brother's alive...
I guess it's just her imagination after all. Or perhaps... Well, with all that's going on around her, and what happened with her dad, I can understand if she's in a pretty bad shape. Her mom's not doing so well either. I see. You're friends. Keep an eye on her. Shinjo-san seemed to think he might gain some clue by hearing what we had to say about Arimura, but he ended up going back to the station with barely anything to show for it. He didn't tell us anything about the police considering her as a suspect. By the time I got home that day, the sun had set. I stopped to buy some Mountain View at the convenience store, like always. When I opened the door, bag in hand, I realized that something was wrong. Someone's in here? I could sense someone in the back of the dark room. Could it be that I'm next? Who's there? I'm sure of it. Someone's there. I know you're there. Come on out. I tried to yell loudly to make myself feel stronger, but it didn't work. The figure slowly stood up in the darkness. The next moment, it charged at me. It was so stunned I couldn't move. No, I can't get away. Hi.
Arimura.
Arimura? Arimura leapt into my arms. Why are you... Kurusu told me she'd taken her home.
Am I not allowed to be here? I'm too scared to be anywhere else.
Scared? But won't your aunt and uncle worry?
It's fine. They just want to get rid of me anyway.
Is that something she knows because of her power?
So please let me stay here.
But...
Is that okay?
There were tears in her eyes. For the old Arimura, that might have been an act. But now... Okay.
Really?
This wasn't an act.
Oh, right, Senpai, come inside, quick.
Huh? You don't have to rush me. What's going on with her?
I know. Are you sure nobody followed you here?
I don't think so.
I see. But be careful, okay? Also, do you have anything to put up? Like duct tape or something?
Duct tape? For what?
We're gonna put it on the windows and cracks, so my brother can't get in.
She's losing it. She's going insane. The thoughts of her brother are driving her to madness. And it's getting worse and worse. What are you talking about? He can't come in through... At first I thought she was joking and laughed. But then I realized that she was serious.
You see? There's a little gap there. And over there too. If we don't tape up the gaps, you'll get in somehow.
Aimura. She told me before that her brother was alive and bent on revenge. But now I realize that it didn't matter whether he was actually alive or not. Her brother was after her. That was the only thought running through her mind now. Okay. We can do that tomorrow. It's too late for tonight. She was still scared, but I managed to calm her down enough that she dropped the subject. But even as it got later, all she did was look outside and shiver. Morning came without either of us getting much sleep. She's going completely insane because of this. November 3rd, 2015. Tuesday. I met the morning with the sound of chirping sparrows and the quiet snoring of a girl. I'd always thought that if it had ever happened to me, it'd be wonderful. Who could have imagined it would feel like this? She'd only just fallen asleep and it was already 10 a.m. I was worried about leaving her by herself, but there was something I wanted to check.
Your girl's already here.
What is it?
It's a different girl than last time. For someone with a piece of a twit, you do pretty well for yourself.
I don't... Wait, that doesn't matter right now. There's no harm in letting her have the wrong idea. I just need to do what I came for. Hey! Nice outfit. Just like the waitress had said, the person I was here to meet had already arrived. She was reading something and frowning, like always. You're late, considering you're the one who asked me to come here. She looked up from her book and spoke to me curtly. I'm sorry. So, what did you want to ask me about? I sat down and ordered, and she got straight to the point. It's clear she didn't want to waste any time on small talk. You supposedly know a lot about the brain and the mind, right, Kunosada-san? I don't supposedly know anything. My research specialty is brain science. In that case, I'd like your opinion as a specialist. Armura's actions over the past few days have gone well beyond what anyone would consider normal. No matter how much I tried to convince her that her brother was dead, she refused to believe it. No. It felt like she didn't even want to believe it. Arimura was the only one who had seen her brother to begin with. None of us had seen him. Which meant that maybe it was all in her head after all. But then what was the cause? I could have looked it up on the internet, but not with Arimura in the room. It was better to ask a specialist than just trying to figure it out based off some web pages. The biggest factor is probably psychological stress. Kunosada-san furrowed her brow when I finished talking to her. But is that enough to cause her to get so scared? I haven't spoken to her personally, so this is just one possibility. But it could be a type of OCD, meaning obsessive-compulsive disorder. I guess it's not impossible. The thing that gets me, though, is the fact that she has been physically attacked by whoever this person that she claims to be her brother is. She's been pushed twice now. And the second time, there was even people there to corroborate the fact that she'd gotten pushed. So, why is it that... So, I don't think it's completely in her head. Or maybe it is. Wait a minute. Again, going back to the whole mind control theory idea. Is it possible that the mind control could potentially make them do things while making them feel something else? Like, for example, let's say that the example that I'm kind of going with here is basically like, is it possible that that Hinai could have been brainwashed to think that her brother had pushed her, and that she would see, feel it, and believe it as her brother pushing her, but the reality is that she just herself fell into the street as if she just jumped in front of the car? Is it possible that that's what's going on? OCD. You should know that criminal psychology isn't my specialty, but she warned me before she continued. It's rare, but sometimes people who've murdered someone become terrified of that person's ghost. Ghost. So you're implying that Arimura... I think the implication here is that Arimura believes that it's her fault that her brother's dead. And as a result, she believes that it's his ghost getting revenge on that, regarding that fact. But again, it's just something doesn't feel right about all this. That would be Arimura's brother in this case. Arimura felt so guilty over her brother's death that she was seeing him in hallucinations. Well, that's alright then. Okay, it's not alright, but at least it's fixable. But there was another possibility that I was afraid of. The idea that had suddenly come to me last night. If I said it aloud, if I gave it shape, something might change. And in a bad way. Then, for example, despite having a bad feeling about it, I couldn't keep myself from saying it. They could take revenge for someone who died without even realizing it. Is that possible? I think I see what's being got at here. I think I see what Takeru is trying to say. He's trying to say that, is it possible that Arimura actually did kill, like, her own father? But did not even realize it ever? Kunosawa-san must have understood exactly what I meant. She put down her coffee cup and looked me in the eyes. Are you telling me that you think Arimura killed her father in her brother's place? I'm just asking if it's possible. It's not impossible. I see. It's technically possible that she could have killed her own father as an act of revenge without even realizing it. I've been feeling that way ever since I'd seen her last night. She'd said that her brother had died because of her, but she also said it was her mom and dad's fault. Perhaps Arimura blamed herself for her brother's death so much that she started hallucinating visions of him. Now that being said, this doesn't explain the other thing, which was the student. The Hekiho Academy student. This doesn't really explain why would she be killed then? Assuming Arimura is the killer, why would she kill a random student? The only thing I can think of is... Let's assume Arimura is the killer. Let's assume Hinai is the killer. In that case, the only reason I can assume that I can think of for why Hinai would kill a random student is because of... Remember what they said about that student? That she liked Hinai so much that she started to try and pretend to be her, like with the twin tails and hanging out in the same places. So maybe, is it possible that Hinai, in like this deluded state, saw herself like as a separate person and killed the student because, well, that student is clearly Hinai, one of the people that she believes is responsible for killing her brother. Does that make sense? I don't know. Then what about the woman, then? The one with the beheaded woman, I think they said. How does that one make sense? Or was it a woman? I don't even remember if it was a woman. I just said it was a woman for some reason. No, you want to know why I said it was a woman? Because if I want to assume that if it's a woman, then maybe that woman reminded her of her mother. Maybe that started to escalate until unconsciously she thought she was her brother, and then she killed her father. Of course, Arimura did say she'd been attacked too. The crucial factor here is figuring out what exactly happened during the times when she was pushed. Was she actually pushed? Or was she simply thinking that she'd been pushed? In that case, she would be lying, but... When the thought first came to me, it seemed impossible. I tried to tell myself that I was overthinking things. But once the thought came to you, it was impossible to be rid of it. The more you told yourself not to think about it, the more you started to think that maybe it was true. What was the truth? And what was a lie? That's what I need to find out. Just like how Arimura always wants it, we now also have to find the truth.
Michiro-senpai!
Arimura leapt into my arms as soon as I opened the door. Please don't attack me.
How'd you leave me like that? Where'd you go?
Sorry, I went shopping and stuff. I figured we need some things. Look, you're hungry, right? I took out the sandwiches and rice balls I bought at the convenience store.
I got worried when you just vanished.
It's fine.
Huh?
No, it's nothing. Don't think about it. It's impossible. It's...
Be careful.
Careful. What?
Carol, that my part didn't find this place.
I told you it's fine. Nobody's chasing after you.
But he's looking for me, so...
I looked away. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bear to see her like this. I grabbed Arimura by the shoulders and looked her straight in the eyes.
Senpai?
Listen to me, Arimura. Your brother is dead. I checked with the police. He's dead. And the dead don't come back to life.
But he attacked me. It's true.
Arimura.
Why won't you believe me? You think I'm lying?
That's not true. I believe you. I believe you, but... Arimura's eyes widened and shocked. Shit! It was only then that I realized I'd made a terrible mistake. Not good.
You're lying.
Arimura!
You really don't believe me. After all.
Arimura shook off my hands, and large tears began to pour down from her eyes. I can't even blame Takara on that. I would have forgotten that too, in the moment. No, Arimura, that was... Shit. I tried to calm her down, but she smacked my hand away.
So even you're lying to me now.
Arimura.
You're lying to me too. Just like Dad and Mom and my brother.
Arimura, listen to me.
No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want...
Arimura! She slipped past my hands and ran out of the RV. And then she ran out of the park without looking back. That was a mistake. Probably should have chased after her. But I hesitated. If it really was Arimura who killed her own father. What's the truth and what's a lie? When that thought crossed my mind, I lost my will to follow her. Is the truth that she's a killer that doesn't even realize that she's doing the killings? Or is that merely just a lie? Why are you here? Hey, Jaku, up or down here? What's going on? Gensan. By the way, I brought you another one. Gensan, I'm sorry, but not now. What? Come on, I brought it special just for you. You can pay me later. I said not now, just leave! Jaku. What am I doing? What am I... Imura Hinai was in the hospital room. It took her a while to figure out what she was doing lying in a hospital bed. But when she did, she remembered everything that had happened. She wanted to believe it was a dream. But the bandages around her body and the pain from her injuries told her that it wasn't.
Where are Mom and Dad?
She looked around for her parents. She staggered out of bed and finally saw them in the hallway. They were each talking to someone on the phone, and trying to hide from the other as they did. Hinai could tell that they were talking to their lovers. How could they be doing that now, when her brother was dead?
How can you do that at a time like this, Mom?
The next thing she knew, she was taking her anger out on her mother.
Hee-chan, I'm glad you're awake.
That was a lie.
Big Bro's dead. How can you do this? Calm down, Hee-chan. Mom's making an important phone call, so...
That was a lie.
Why? Why didn't you save Big Bro? He was still alive. If you came with me, we could have saved him. Why didn't you come with me? We tried to save him, of course. But you came. Before you came, but we couldn't.
That was a lie.
Then why did you say it was too late? We didn't want you to get hurt. We thought that you'd go inside if we didn't tell you that. You're lying. Hee-chan.
Hinai had grabbed her mom before she realized what she was doing.
Lying, 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 lying. You're lying, you're lying, you're lying. All you do is lie. Everything you say is a lie. Hee-chan, stop it. Why you lie so much? Why don't you tell the truth? I don't want to hear all these lies. Stop lying and tell me. Tell me the truth. Why'd you let Big Bro die? Why'd you kill him? Tell me.
Fault. It was the first time she'd seen her mother's face like that. It was a scary face. All the false kindness had been wiped away. It wasn't the face of her mother anymore. It was the face of a woman.
It's all your fault. Shingo went inside because he thought you were there. If he had known you weren't in there, he never would have gone inside. And you want to know why we didn't save him. It's all your fault in the first place.
That was the truth. It was the first true thing her mother had told her today. And that truth destroyed her.
My fault.
Shingo had gone out to buy a present for Hinai, just like she had done. And then the earthquake had happened. He'd run back home, found the building half collapsed, then ignored his parents' warnings and went inside. He believed that she was in there. And that's why he had died.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
The whole world shook. Everything she knew fell apart. And that was how Hinai lost everything. Jesus.
Do you need something from our class?
No, is Arimura here? She didn't come to school today. I see. Thanks. The next day, just like I thought, Arimura hadn't come to school. It was after school and the club room was still empty. Was it really Arimura who killed her father? Maybe I need to go back over everything that's happened so far just to get it clear in my head. Here we go. First, the data and locations of the new generation murders. There has been 4 incidents so far. Don't Look in Jinan. Audio Bleed in Shinsen. And then Revolving Dead at Fairy's Dance, a place I would never forget. Then there was the Sumorbidly Obese case, which had also occurred right in front of us. Yeah, good so far. The problem was what came next. all the murders after Sue morbidly obese. There were 3 victims. The first victim was, that's right, a headless body that was burnt to death. The next victim was Ishida Moe, a student at Hekiho Academy. And finally, Arimura Koichiro, Arimura Hinai's father. That was the order. Just like I thought. Looking back at the cases, it was clear that there was no relationship between the first 4 murders and the last 3. The first 4 cases have been extremely bizarre. The latter ones were brutal, but fairly ordinary. And more than anything, there were the sumo stickers. I've been so relieved that they were gone that I've been slow to pick up on it, but there were no sumo stickers anywhere to be found near the sites of the last 3 murders. In other words, they were 2 completely separate groups. Not to mention, Ishida Moe had been a huge fan of Arimura Hinai. Koichiro was her father. In a broad sense, these 2 were both related to Arimura. Then there was the headless, burnt body. They hadn't identified the body yet, but maybe... Which means that I was right. Kazuki. I turned around at the sound of the door opening and saw Kazuki standing there. Oh, it's you, Kazuki. I thought about getting a second opinion, but with Kazuki, that wouldn't be possible. I went to turn back to the board, only to realize that Kazuki was staring at me. What's wrong? Surprisingly, Arimura had taken a liking to the silent Kazuki, and Kazuki didn't seem to mind her, either. The 2 of them had built up a unique friendship. So maybe Kazuki was worried about Arimura too. Maybe. Huh? What was that? Did Kazuki just talk? Hey, Kazuki, did you... Come to think of it, she did talk once before. Last time, it felt like she'd been so caught up in Arimura's energy that she'd spoken without thinking. Wait, that doesn't matter right now. Kazuki, what did you... It might be my fault, maybe. This time I could hear her clearly. Why do you think that it's your fault? We were talking about Hina-san's brother. And it might be because I asked. Maybe. Asked what? If she wanted to see her brother. What? What on earth is she talking about? Why would it be her fault for asking if Arimura wanted to see her brother? Why? Kazuki, you have to explain to me or I won't understand. What exactly do you mean? I'm a psychic too. Kazuki! Psychic? Wait. A psychic? Do you mean a gigalomaniac? You are. I asked if she wants to see her brother. That's probably why she's seeing him. Are you serious? This is the first time we're learning that Kazuki's a gigalomaniac. But your power is what's causing her to see her brother? What kind of power is that? Hina-san's so nice. So I wanted to talk to her too. I might have done something awful again. Maybe. Not only was Kazuki not used to talking, but she was sobbing too. It's hard to get anything out of her. Again? Is she so terrified of talking because the last time she did it, something about her power activated and it ruined somebody? I understood what she was trying to say. Arimura was seeing her brother because Kazuki had asked if she wanted to see him. And that this was because of her power as a gigalomaniac. What kind of power is that? You're making her see her brother? But evidently, it doesn't seem like you're in control of it. Of course, it was possible that Kazuki was joking or mistaken. However, from the look of things, it didn't seem that way. Which meant what Arimura was saying really was true. Why? We need to know what Kazuki's power is. And why is it that it's doing this? Kazuki doesn't seem like the person who would want to do this to Arimura, to make Arimura go insane. But it sounds like she's scared of her own power. It might be related to why she never talks. Because just her talking might put people at risk of activating her power. And maybe she's already done something before that's destroyed people. But in that case, what is her power? And I have to assume again, she doesn't have control over it, does she? Whatever it is, it doesn't seem like she likes it or has any control over it. I didn't know if the brother she'd seen had really killed her father. But some power of Kazuki's had caused Arimura to see her brother. It wasn't a hallucination or a mistake. But in that case, who had killed her father? Mishiro! Suddenly the door burst open and Nito rushed inside. What? I'm thinking right now. We can talk later. Oh, I guess you don't know then, huh? I see. Some right sider you are. What don't I know? No, you're thinking, right? We can talk later. Don't be a dick, man. Just tell me already. You mean please tell me, right? This is not the time, Nito. Fine, I'm sorry. Just tell me what happened. You don't sound like you really mean it. Asshole. Just before I started to get really mad, though, the door opened once more and Sarika ran in.
Hey, Taka, did you hear? There's been another case.
Oh, no, I don't! A new case. Do you mean...
Yeah, a murder.
It can't be. That's just what I was about to say. Shit. I ignored that idiot and ran up to Sarika. And who was killed? I ended up almost grabbing her. Sarika looked a little scared.
Well...
Just tell me, who was the victim?
I think it was a woman in her 40s.
Damn it. Yep. It's people that look... Oh, no. A woman in her 40s. That would probably match up perfectly with Arimura's mother, wouldn't it? Kazuki's power ended up going haywire. It's causing something to go wrong, either making Arimura go insane enough to the point of killing, or making whatever her power is, it caused something to come into existence that's killing people. Oh, that would look like they're part of Arimura's family. It wasn't Arimura's mom, was it?
Hien-chan, but why?
No, if it was, I would have told you sooner. I'm not that much of a dick. No, it was. If it was, I would have told you sooner. I'm not that much of a dick. Was it? Then it's not someone that's related to Arimura. Does it have nothing to do with the others, or... What now? A phone call. Could it be... Arimura! I grabbed the phone out of my pocket and looked at the name on the screen. But it wasn't who I hoped it was. Miyashiro-kun, it's Shinjo. I hear the tension in his voice, and it scared me. Why are you calling? Just a few hours ago, there was another murder in Shibuya. Did you hear about it? It was a woman in her 40s named Mikami Hinako. Yeah, we were just talking about it. We have a suspect in the murder. A suspect? It's gonna be Arimura. Who is it? Listen carefully. On the 25th, Ishida Moe was murdered. Then on the 26th, Arimura Koichiro was killed as well. Then last night, Mikami Hinako was killed. Suspect in all these murders is Arimura Hinae's mother. What? Her mother? What? Any luck, Takuru? No good, she's not picking up. Cruz and the others had arrived in the club room afterward, and I filled them in on the situation. We tried to call her, but with no luck. Maybe she didn't want to answer my calls. Damn it, it's all my fault because I doubted her! Now it's not the time for that.
She's right. We need to find out where Tia-chan is.
But she's not picking up her phone, and I don't know where she is at this rate! Oh, we have to do something. Let's think of a way. A way. I can't think of anything. But that was when someone handed me a phone. Huh? Oh! Kazuki.
Kazuki?
Kazuki.
She picked up. Maybe. It's Hina-san.
I grabbed the phone and put it up to my ear.
Hello? Hello?
Arimura, it's me. It's Miyashiro.
Senpai?
Wait, don't hang up. Listen to me. I'm sorry I doubted you. You weren't wrong. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Really.
Senpai.
Can we meet somewhere? I need to tell you something in person.
Not now.
Why not?
I'm about to meet my mom.
Not good.
Meet me after that.
Wait, Arimura, don't go. You can't.
Taku, where's Hina-chan?
She hung up. Shit. I called back, but she wouldn't answer. She either wasn't getting a signal or she turned off her phone. Either way, we had no way of contacting her now. She told me that she's meeting with her mother. Wait, that's bad, isn't it?
Do you know where she's going?
I didn't have time to ask.
Do you have some clue? Someplace they would have gone together, or that was important to them.
Don't be stupid. She would meet with her mother at a place like... Wait. I think I heard something. It was like... crushing?
Taku!
I heard a sound on the other side of the phone. That was probably... I remember my conversation with Shinjo-san as I ran. Arimura's mother. You mean her mother was the killer? We're sure about Ishida Moe and the cases after that. And we're pretty sure about the burnt body as well. Sarek on the other side insisted I put the phone on speaker mode. I did that before I continued. But why would her mom... Did you know that the Arimura family was essentially dysfunctional? Oh. Yeah, more or less. It was easy to imagine after what Arimura had told me. Both Arimura's mother and dad had separate lovers, who they spent almost all their time with. But suddenly, Arimura Megumi, her mother, had a falling out with her lover of 10 years last month. After that, she supposedly began to act strangely. At first, she felt hatred toward her lover for abandoning her, but eventually she started to direct that hate toward her family and husband. If she'd had a happy home life, if her husband hadn't been such a failure, she never would have had an affair in the first place. At least that's what she said.
But that's...
Cruza raised her voice in anger at Arimura's mother's selfish actions. Listen, of course it's stupid, but we can worry about that later. Eventually it escalated to the point where she began to hate her daughter, Hinae. But why? According to her, it was because Arimura Hinae was the thing that tore her family apart. And it was the reason she broke up with her lover. Arimura's real father was her mother's lover. Of course, her dad knew this. Her birth had caused a rift in the Arimura family. It essentially ceased to be a family at all. What was worse was that the strange power that Arimura had. She seemed to have it under control now, but at first she hadn't known how to handle it. As a result, her mother had come to fear and loathe her. Arimura Megumi became psychologically unstable. She killed her ex, chopped off his head, and set the body on fire. So that was the first victim. Then she planned to take revenge on the people that she blamed for her murder. Her husband, Koichiro, and her daughter, Hinae. The police believed the second victim, Ishida Moe, was mistaken for Hinae and killed. And now she's escaped the police, so we think she's plotting her daughter's murder. It was Arimura's mother, Arimura Megumi, who killed her father. And now her mother was trying to kill her too. And then there were the phantoms of her dead brother haunting her. Damn it! I did something that I couldn't take back now. All I could do with atone was find Arimura as fast as possible. I had to stop her from meeting with her mother, no matter what. My lungs were already at their limit. My lack of exercise had caught up with me, and my legs weren't doing what I told them to. But I had to keep going. Because I was sure that... I think what I heard was... I remember it was probably around here somewhere.
Why?
Here. I heard her. That was definitely Armor's voice.
Mom, why?
Where? Where is she? Of course. Because it's your... Over there! Mom? I looked for my mom where she said she'd be. I was so surprised when she suddenly texted me. I never thought she'd actually say she wanted to see me. At first, I thought she'd just been joking. I couldn't believe what she said either. I was so sad to lose your father that way. But maybe she really meant it. I hadn't talked to my mom in a long, long time. Mom had started avoiding me when she realized I had the power to tell when she was lying. So I didn't know what had happened to her and Dad since then, and I didn't care. I figured that after my brother's death, they hadn't tried to get back together. They both split off to do their own thing. But maybe she changed. Maybe Dad's death had made her rethink things. So I decided to do what she hoped I would. It was the last wish I had left. So I'd come to meet my mom. And I immediately regretted it. Oh, Jesus. I'm so happy you came. She really meant it. I've wanted to see you for so long. She meant that too. Now that Dad's gone, you're the only person I care about. A lie. From now on, you'll be together with me forever. A lie. Now come closer so I can see your pretty face. Lie, lie, lie. All lies. Hey, Mom. I spoke up. Why you always lie like that? I'm not lying. I really... You are lying. I can tell. I can tell you're not telling the truth. Why are you saying that, Hee-chan? Your mom loves you so much. That's a lie too. Mom looked surprised for a second, but then she looked down at her feet and didn't say anything. Maybe I'd said too much. Mom? Not good. Fine. I'll tell you the truth then. Mom? Was this her real voice? It's your fault. This actually was her real voice. If it hadn't been for Shingo, I never would have had to marry your dad in the first place. Mom's words. But you were his child, so I took care of you. But... when you were born, it ruined my life. We're all true. I never should have had you. Or Shingo. A creepy girl like you should never have been born. Shingo was telling the truth. So disappear. Just go away. The words I wanted to hear. The words I didn't want to hear. And you know, that's what Shingo wants too. Big bro. That's right. Your brother comes to me every day. He says it hurts. He says he didn't want to die. Big bro. It's all your fault. It's his fault. It's his fault I got married when I didn't want to. It's your fault my family was ruined. You stole my happiness. It's all your fault. Because you were born. Because a monster like you was born. That's why he... She was telling the truth. This was the truth that I wanted to hear. If this was the truth, then You understand how I feel, right? So you see... Mom took something out of her bag. The towel was wrapped and fell off, and I could see a little bit of sunlight glinting off the exposed metal. Even though I recognized what it was, I couldn't move. The truth that I just heard had shocked me so much that I couldn't move. When you were gone, I can finally be happy. Mom smiled. It was the first time I'd seen her real smile. Mom. Bye-bye, Hina-chan. She came closer. She looked so happy. There was nothing I could do but wait for her embrace. Arimura should be around here.
All your fault.
That voice.
It's all your fault. It's all because a monster like you was born. Mom.
That's Arimura's. I raced toward the voice, and under the dimly lit bridge, in an empty space with nothing but the sound of trains, was Arimura. When you're gone, I can finally be happy. There was a woman standing in front of her. She was so tired that she looked very aged, but she was probably in her early 40s. The woman had taken something out of her bag. Mom.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Hin-chan.
Hina-chan.
When the woman started walking toward Arimura, I understood the situation. At this rate, Arimura would be killed. But from where I was standing, I wouldn't reach her in time. Damn it! She's right over there! Yet all I can do is just watch she dies! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Arimura! I screamed as loud as I could. But the woman didn't hear my voice. She held the blade in front of her and began to run. Please! And then I saw something in the corner of my eye. It was a T-sword. Please! There was a loud noise, and the woman suddenly recoiled backward. Then she grabbed her ears and fell to her knees. Red drops fell from between her fingers. Did my power cause that? Did my power cause her earrings to move, ripping them out of their ears? But it only held her back for a moment. She glared at Arimura and charged with the blade once more. Arimura!
Senpai!
I flung myself between them. The sound of a train. The warning bells as the crossing bars lowered. Light and shadow intersecting. And a burning pain.
Senpai! Miyashiro Senpai!
I heard footsteps somewhere deep in my head. Arimura's mother had probably come back to her senses after stabbing me and then ran off somewhere. But the pain was so strong that I couldn't look to see. Arimura! I must have passed out without realizing it. Because the next thing I knew, Arimura was cradling my head in her lap.
Senpai, don't move! I'll call an ambulance!
I'm sorry, Arimura. I softly rubbed her cheek. Her pretty pale skin was stained dark red with my blood.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I didn't believe you.
Senpai!
If you can forgive me, just one more time. Arimura? Is she crying?
I'm the one who should be sorry. I shouldn't have run off like that. You tried to save me until the very end, and I...
Arimura.
Please, Senpai, don't die.
Arimura's tears wet my cheeks. The tears fell in great numbers, rolling off my cheeks and hitting the ground. Arimura. But I'm already... Arimura. I...
Oh. When I woke up from my sleep, I saw the face of the person I've been dreaming of, and panicked. Was I sleeping? Oh, Miyashiro-senpai.
Oh, you're awake?
I'm sorry, I kind of passed out while I was waiting for you.
It's fine, you don't need to worry about it.
Senpai was always so nice to me. So sometimes I wanted to let him spoil me.
What?
Miyashiro-senpai, you're really nice, aren't you?
What are you talking about? I'm not...
No, you are nice. You came to save me after all.
That was because I was worried about you.
Hey, senpai.
What is that?
Does it hurt? Your injury?
Well, sometimes. But it's not a big deal.
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
It's not your fault. How many times do I have to tell you?
No, it really is my fault. My heart was weak. That's why...
Aimura.
But I realized something. We can't divide the world up into truths and lies. The world is half truth and half lies, and we have to accept that. Otherwise, you just can't keep going. If I found that out earlier, My mom had been arrested shortly after that. An officer at a police box had seen her staggering down the street, covered in blood, and taken her in. She lost her mind to the point where they weren't even sure she could stand trial. But she'd have to go to some hospital, Shinjo-san said. It's her own fault that this had happened to her. Part of it was my fault, too. I would have to carry the burden of that truth for the rest of my life.
But at least you know now, right?
Huh?
That the world is half truth and half lies.
Yes.
It's alright. As long as you knew that, you can keep moving forward.
Right. Senpai would always tell me the path that I need to follow. So that's why Mishiro-senpai, I have a request.
What is it?
Can you kiss me?
What?
Do you not want to?
No, it's not that, but why you?
Those words are true. It's okay, right? If you kiss me?
Oh no, I'm about to get beaten up by Silent Child.
When did you get here?
I'm about to get beaten up.
You ever pretend not to see anything for just a little longer?
Stop pounding the wall, you'll punch a hole in it.
I was so close, too. Oh, there you are, Taku. The Restoration Festival today. It's the Restoration Festival today. We're all going together, right?
Oh, you're a two-armer. I bet the two of you were making out.
Making out? Ito-kun, watch your mouth. Jeez. It might be a while before I get that kiss saying at this rate. Senpai. Ready to go to the Restoration Festival?
Oh, yeah.
Well then, let's go together.
Huh?
I grabbed his hand and started to run. We made a promise, right? Come on, let's go, Senpai.
Hey, wait!
Hey, no running up on your own! No running in the hallway!
Is that really the problem here?
He's right. As long as I was with him, I could keep moving forward. Even in a world of truth and lies. Because when he came to save me, I knew. I knew that his feelings were true. So, thank you, Senpai.
Oh gosh, wait, no, careful, careful. No. Music. It's gonna flashbang me. Turn that off. Ow, it's so loud. Jesus Christ, I have to take my headphones off. Turn it off. Jesus Christ. Hang on. November 21st, 2015, Saturday. Frisia Credit Bureau.
Everyone's here, right?
Shinjo-san looked around at the assembled group before he spoke. It was an early Saturday morning, but there were still quite a few people here. Umose Katsuko, the CEO of Frisia. Kunosato Mio, a student at Hekiho Academy and the famous Kei-san of Shibuya News. Ito Shinji, part of the Hekiho newspaper club. Kurusu Nono, Kazuki Hana, and Onoe Serika. None of them looked happy to be here. They all had a vague idea of why they'd been brought here, but they still seemed to be afraid of what they were about to hear. Shinjo-san didn't feel much different. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, oh, this all feels so happy and stuff. After what happened to the last ending, I don't at all trust that that's actually what happened. Tell me the real story, game. Tell me the real story. He slowly began to speak with the same expression of tension on his face as the rest of them.
We found Arimura Hinai and Michio Takeru.
Shinjo-san began to tell them what the police had learned about what had happened between me, Arimura, and her mother on November 4th.
Please, senpai, don't die.
After her mom had stabbed me, I was lying on the ground with my head in her lap. Even now, I still remembered how hot her tears had felt. Arimura. My consciousness gradually began to fade. Arimura, And then in the corner of my eye, I saw her. It was Arimura's mother. I thought she had left, but I was wrong. All sanity was gone from her eyes. I saw a sharp flash as she raised her hand up high above Arimura's head. Arimura! With all the strength I had left, I pushed Arimura down and covered her with my body. A burning pain ran down my back. Again and again. Again and again and again. Pain. Screams. Mad laughter. A horn. The sound of a train. Light and shadow. By that point, I didn't even know what was going on anymore. All I could discern was the sound of something hitting the ground. The sound of dragging feet, as well as Arimura's sobs. I tried to speak, but I felt unbelievably weak. When I finally did, my voice was barely a whisper. But I still used all the strength I had left. I had to tell her. I had to tell Arimura. Arimura. Sorry.
Doesn't matter. Don't say anything else.
But if I don't tell you now, I won't get a chance.
No, I don't want to hear it.
I think I love you. Really?
I know. You're telling the truth.
I'm so glad.
No, senpai, don't lie to me like that. Oh, no, senpai.
After the stabbing, Arimura Megumi was found by a police officer walking down the street covered in blood. Unfortunately, she's lost her mind. I'm told we can't get anything out of her. And what about the two of them? You're aware that Arimura Hinai and Miyashiro Taka both vanished from the scene, yes?
Shinjo-san took their silence as a yes and continued.
For some reason, despite our best efforts, the police were unable to find them. That is, until yesterday. The two of them turned out to be hiding in the sealed basement beneath H Tokyo General. The
place had been locked up tight. There was no way anyone could find us there. In fact, we'd stayed down there for almost 3 weeks.
And so, the two of them are safe, right?
Well,
About the two of them.
Kunosawa-san picked up where Shinjo-san hesitated. She had already heard, it seemed. Arimura Hinai is currently being held at the hospital. When she was found, she was holding Miyashiro Takaru in her arms. However, it had been 2 weeks since the time of death, and the body had already rotted and partially calcified. I'm told that parts of his body were missing as well. I could see them all gasp in horror. Arimura Hinai was apparently holding his corpse closely and continuously talking to it. That's right. I died. Right after that. It was to be expected given how many times I'd been stabbed. And the next thing I knew, I was in that hospital. My body was there, unmoving, and Arimura was holding me. I didn't know how Arimura had gotten it down there, but she'd probably gotten help from her. Oh my god. Arimura was talking to me with a happy look on her face.
I have a request.
She seemed to think she was at school. She kept saying the same thing over and over. I was sure that she was hearing my voice as well. No, not just me. Sarika was there, and Kurusu, as well as Ito and Kazuki. What she was seeing was...
But Hina-chan's seeing it's the true world.
That's Sarika for you. She knew exactly what I wanted to say. Yeah. That was the true world. It was the world of truth that Arimura wished for. And she could hear them. Voices without lies. And now I knew that I was a part of her.
Takaru.
Sarika softly touched Kurusu's hand.
Don't make that face. I'm sure Taku had a good time too. Right, Taku? I'm right, aren't I?
Everyone then looked out the window in unison, up at the sky. How strange. I'm right here. But what Sarika said was right. This is for the best. My voice couldn't reach her anymore. But Arimura now had the world she desired. She had attained a world of truth. And she was still whispering, inside of that empty room.
Thank you, Senpai.
Dark Sky End. Fuck me! Jesus Christ! Well, that was something, wasn't it? Well, we're gonna go ahead and end it here for today. I have to keep my optimism up, otherwise the demons of this game are gonna come back and haunt me. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you all later. Peace.